Yo, what is up guys? It's Jack and welcome back to another video. And in this one I wanted to talk about which Call of Duty do you believe takes the most skill. Now this video was inspired by the comment section actually. I was asked, which Call of Duties do you think are the easiest? And all the previous ones are pretty easy actually, at least with my experience. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because there's just so many sweats now in Call of Duty in comparison than there was before, and they just end up moving on to the next one. I mean, I don't know. There's so many different factors that you can put into it, the team balancing or whatnot, and it just never stops. I mean, everybody has their own unique, interesting story with every single Call of Duty, and some Call of Duties just feel better, quote unquote. They feel better for certain players depending on the game itself. Like for instance, one of the reasons why I chose the thumbnail to be what it is, with Crimsix being in the thumbnail, and you've got Call of Duty Black Ops 2 and Call of Duty Ghosts as well in the thumbnail, is simply because if you guys remember, I mean, Crim basically dominated Black Ops 2 and Ghosts like most of the time, and it was just an absolute amazing sight to see. And the thing is, part of the reason why I think that is, now obviously he's still a great player in every Call of Duty he touches, right? I mean, you know, very successful professional Call of Duty player, but I like to think that there are just certain flavors of Call of Duty that just feel better for certain players. And sometimes it depends on the style that you play, sometimes it just depends on personal preference and how you respond to playing a certain Call of Duty with your muscle memory and how the game feels to you compared to some other people, because you will have so many different opinions and varying factors into what makes a Call of Duty feel better for a certain player, as well as which Call of Duty takes more skill. So let's get a little bit more in depth into it. Like for instance, with Advanced Warfare, you've got the advanced movement, right? Like you do in Black Ops 3 and Infinite Warfare. But it was very different. It was the first flavor of advanced movement that we got in a Call of Duty, and it was very different. And with a game like that, it was actually very surprising just how much. Just how many long distance engagements you had as well. At least to me, it's still surprising. If you were to go back and play Advanced Warfare right now, actually, you'd be surprised. I mean, there's a lot of precision aiming that has to be done. And one other thing is that with that game, there's also the fact that there's the verticality as well, which makes people very hard to take out in midair compared to Infinite Warfare and Black Ops 3, in my opinion. Not that Infinite Warfare and Black Ops 3 are a cakewalk when it comes to taking people out in midair, especially if they're at a distance or if things are happening quickly or whatnot. But still, I'm pretty sure you guys understand exactly what my point is when it comes to all this stuff. So, and I think that's one of the things that they took into consideration when they developed the Black Ops 3 advanced movement system. It's like, we're not going to make this like Exos. I'm pretty sure that's something that went through their mind. I mean, it's pretty evident in the way the movement works. But there's Ghosts, because you also have, for instance, you've got a faster time to kill, but at the same time, you have that whole, there is a lot of tactical decision making that has to be done in that game as well. So there's that. It's also a boots on the ground game. So that's one of the other things that differs as well, is that whether it's an advanced movement or a boots on the ground game, some people will probably divide it into two categories, because there are people out there that basically don't even count the advanced movement system Call of Duties as Call of Duties. They don't, it's like they don't count because they're not a quote unquote traditional Call of Duty. And I can understand where they came from, where they come from when they say such a thing. But okay, so we've got, let's see, we got Black Ops 2 that has its own unique feel, Black Ops 1. We've got the varying time to kills. Like with this game here, you've got the longest time to kill, right? But at the same time, there's just so much shit that you get in this game that you don't earn. Specialists, basically. You get both the equipment and the super, or whatever the hell you want to call it. You get your equipment and you get your lethals or whatnot, or whatever you want to call it. I can't think of it right now. It's my brain is so fried. But anyway, so when you take everything into consideration, it really, when you put everything on the table as to what takes the which Call of Duty takes more skill, it really is a complicated. It isn't so black and white. It's not very cut and dry, because there's every single iteration of Call of Duty is at its core. It's the base. It's basically the same concept, but the different additions and omissions to every single Call of Duty are what makes a difference. and the feeling, the overall feeling of the game. So in your opinion and with your experience, and you can feel free to let me know to what kind of play style or which flavor of Call of Duty you prefer, whether it's advanced movement or whether it's boots on the ground or whatever the deal is. You know, what, in your opinion, what Call of Duty takes the most skill? And is it also like, do you believe also, another interesting question for you guys is, do you believe also that the Call of Duty that you struggle with the most would be the one that takes the most skill? Or do you think that it's not completely that, or at least not to a certain degree? I want to know down in the comment section. And even going back to the pros real quick, you'll see that there are certain players that just, you know, they don't play well with certain Call of Duties. Like, for instance, with Scump struggled a lot in World War II. So, and he's one of the best slayers to ever play in this game, and one of the best professional Call of Duty players as well. So it just goes to show you that, like, and usually with every single Call of Duty, the man performs very well. But I guess with World War II, he just wasn't feeling it. There was just something. Sometimes the funny thing is you can't even fully explain why you can't wrap your head around a certain Call of Duty, or why you can't grasp the game, why you're performing really, really badly in this Call of Duty when it's just another Call of Duty, and it could be very frustrating. And for those of you guys that have been playing Call of Duty for years upon years will certainly understand that concept, because I personally believe those of us that have stuck with the franchise for a long time have pretty much experienced a shit ton of different things with the different flavors of Call of Duty that we've been presented with and that we've played. And with some games, and like this game in particular, you guys in the comment section have basically said that you don't play this shit anymore. And again, I completely understand. There are those of you that keep on going back and forth. There are those of you that have mixed feelings. It really is this Call of Duty, as I said in many videos prior to this one, it really is a mixed bag. But I would really like to know, in your opinion, which Call of Duty takes the most skill? Any Call of Duty whatsoever. Let me know down in the comments section. And that's all I got for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, let me know, and if you didn't, let me know what I can do to make my videos better. I'll catch you guys on the next one.